Hi Wargamers, Spirit Warrior 40k here, and this is our weekly update. I think we're on 20. Surely we've not been over 20 weeks. But yeah, we'll discuss a few battles I've been in. We're just a bit of painting at the moment, and yeah, we'll have a general chit chat. So let's get it going. Hi guys, so we're on week 20 supposedly of our weekly updates. I think I missed a few weeks, so we must have been going for longer than 20 weeks. I think I started, just after Christmas, so yeah, give or take. Um, so yeah, it's been a bit of a big week, hasn't it guys? So painting wise, I finished my, what are they called? My Wraith Blades. Did a tactical for them, I think. Yes, we did. Took me 2 takes because I did the whole thing and then realised that I'd put them at 60 attacks rather than the 30 that they should have had. Had them in a couple of battles. First battle, they didn't get into combat, but then obviously on the round they dropped in. Then we had to finish up the game because the store was closing. And I think from what we said, they would have minced what they were going up against. And then, sorry, PC. And then on the second game, they dropped down, and Dan from Games Workshop in Dudley, he's one of the players there. I think he helps with the store as well. He opened up on Friday. Played some stratagem, which meant that his Hellblasters could sort of take a turn shooting. Destroyed all but one of my Wraith Blades, but to be fair, took out 5 of his Hellblasters with rolling ones and re-rolling ones. So they didn't even score, but yeah, they've not really had the chance to shine just yet. Yeah, so that was them painted and having a bit of a go. I'm currently painting. You've seen on my Instagram. I'll stick another couple of pictures up. These guys, a bit closer. So we've got I'm just doing the next 3 of my 8. Obviously match play, if we ever get to that stage of being that good, they'll have to just drop down as XV8s, but they are classed as commanders. So this is Bravestorm. This one here, if it will zoom, will it zoom? Obviously there's no weapons on there yet, I'm doing those separately. So currently we've done the base and the wash, and I've literally just finished going back over them. With the corn red. This one is Brightsword. He's going to have the 2 fusion blasters, or what they're called, the fusion blades. Fusion blades, yep. So he's going to try and get him into combat. The first guy was Bravestorm. Yeah, he's got an Onager Gauntlet, so get him into combat as well. And then this one is Shavastos. So yeah, like I said, I've just finished the grey on those, so I've got to do the grey on the jetpacks now, these little things, and then I would do the weapons sort of last. But yeah, actually really enjoying painting them. They're the tower great to paint because it's just panels, and you can just sort of breeze through a lot of the stuff. Whereas obviously with things like the Eldar, it's very curved, and one thing merges into another, so they're quite much more difficult. But to be fair, by the end of painting those Wraith Blades, I was ready to kill myself with some Avalon Sunset paint. The thing is, I've got another 2 units of them to purchase and paint up, so that's going to just devastate me. But no, so it's nice to be painting something different, a bit of red, and like I said, they're really good to sort of paint. And when you get, I do a complete wash and then repaint over, and you can sort of the wash sort of really settles well in the recesses, so you can get that nice sort of painting finish. So once I've done the jetpack things, I'm going to go into some highlighting, and yeah, go from there. Obviously you've already seen Arakon, yeah, and the Ghost Keel, which I've done. So once these are done, I've got what have I got next? Stealth suits to do after that. 3 of them, then I'm pretty much done with all my painting, and it's time to go and buy some more stuff. I need to try and drag this out till Christmas because my wife won't let me buy anything else. Yeah, so I mean that's what I'm painting up at the moment. Like I said, really enjoying this, sort of getting back into my painting, sort of trying to do it a bit more regularly even, which sort of brings that skill level up. What I was finding was I'd do like an hour on a Friday or whatever, sort of sort of be down here, and it just sort of wouldn't go up or down or anything. It would just be quite standard. But sort of now I've been trying to sort of do more regular painting, so I can it's, you know, it's going up a little bit. I know it'd be amazing. I don't pretend to go for that. But yeah. So what's been going on in the world? So we've had Warhammer Fest. Sadly, I didn't get to go this year. I was gutted I didn't get to go last year, but even more this year because it was all planned and ready. And my dad sort of been laid off, so he couldn't afford to go, which meant I had the kids and stuff. So just didn't get a chance. I was going to enter, like I said in a previous video, Ashuman into Golden Demon. I think I'd have just been laughed at from the moment I gave him in, because I saw some of the entries on Instagram and they were, really good. But hey, you know, maybe next year I'll have finished all of the 8, and we can sort of put it in as that kind of thing. And to be fair, the standard of my tower is a bit higher than my Eldar, if I'm honest. And I think that again is just because of the way they're set out, the panels and that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully next year we'll get on with that. Been enjoying sort of the community side of around. We'll get onto that in a minute. But yeah, Warhammer Fest. So obviously didn't get to go, but there's been a lot of comic stuff coming out. Plastic about Sisters of Battle. I think when I very first got into this hobby was when these were released, and they looked pretty cool. I'm guessing they were metal or resin or whatever, but so it doesn't really make any odds to me because I didn't collect them or paint them. But obviously I'm guessing plastic is what you lot want, so plastic you shall have, according to Games Workshop. Yeah. You've got this new Titanicus, I think it's called, which from what I can gather is all of the, like the Titans and the freaking whatever came out in Forge Blade, Forge Bane, you know, that little Imperial Knights, that's the one I'm looking for. I think it's all like the Imperial Knights, but in miniature form rather than quite big. So I think so that you can play a battle with these on a more sort of affordable and skirmish sort of way. Yeah, not something I'm overly interested in. I like, if I'm going to get an Imperial Knight, if I ever get one, it will be the full size one. I have no intention of getting an Imperial Knight. I do like Skitarii, but yeah, no. So yeah, I thought that was seemed quite cool. You know, seeing the miniature. I think they showed some of the miniature ones, but I could be completely wrong here. I could have completely misread what was on the Warhammer community site. So comment below. Yeah. Obviously, they talked about the release of the Harlequins. I love the Harlequins. I think they're a great set of models to have, lovely painted up. I would love to have just one set of troops in my army. If I could do that, I don't think I could, to be fair. But if I could, I think it would be so cool. But I just don't have that level of painting skill, and it would just look a mess. And to be fair, if I'm going to put out a mess, I wouldn't want to play them. To me, if you're gonna play the game and you're gonna sort of make the effort of painting them, then they need to be to a certain standard. You know, this whole three colour idea? Hang on, something's come up. Yeah, this three colour system where you just paint them 3 colours. I hate. You know, if you're gonna paint, buy this stuff and you're gonna paint it up. You know, I think put the effort in. You know, and if you're at a level where you can't sort of do that, you know, learn. You know, when I first got into this just over probably 18 months ago, my level was shot. I was painting with a level that was from like 8 years ago, where you just dry brushed everything. And like I said, that level's obviously come up just through painting. So yeah, I completely forgot where I was going with this. So yeah, Warhammer Fest. Not a lot came out of it, if I'm honest. I didn't really think much came out. Oh yeah, we were on about the Harlequins. So yeah, that codex is coming out, and also you've got this massive new piece of terrain that's coming out. I might just buy it for the sake that it looks awesome. I have no idea how I'm going to paint it to that standard, but I'm saying a lot. But yeah, so I just think it'd be quite cool to have that piece of terrain to when we get on the battlefield, when I eventually get some proper terrain from Games Mat EU, which I can afford. It'd be nice to have that on there as well, which would be pretty cool. It comes with its own set of rules, I've heard, so it'd be interesting to see how that works. So yeah, that was Warhammer Fest, pretty much. So I go on to just discussing some of the battle report, a couple of battles I've had. So I'm going to take this opportunity to ask you guys, if you like the video, to subscribe, comment, and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of my updates. Don't worry, you won't be inundated with tons because there's not that many. But yeah, please subscribe. We're at 91 subscribers, but really nice to get to 100 by the end of the year, which is 9, so it should be easily possible. So spread the love, guys. Get your mums and dads, your brothers and sisters to subscribe. It'd be quite cool. One day we'll get to that 10,000 and we'll start getting free stuff from Games Workshop. Yeah. I may be in my 50s by then. Or actually, it's taken me, what, 6 months to get 100? It's a long time. Anyway, yeah, so like I said, please subscribe and comment below on anything that we're going on about. And yeah, so anyway, battle reports. I've got a few pictures. I'm still not at the recording stage, guys. I'm just not there. I asked in the shop if I can record. They've said yes, but I can't have any sound going on. So I don't know how to remove sound using my phone or how to remove it using a program. Can't do it, guys, if I can't do it. Yeah, so the first game I went up on Thursday. I had to sit around for a bit because no one was really there to play a game. Everyone was more into the painting. But played a game. I haven't got a clue what the guy's name was. I know his brother was there and his mum was there as well, because mum seems to be quite a good painter. He brought his Death Guard. You'll see from some of the pictures coming up what it was like. Kind of each set up in the corners. So if this is the battle, the thing. He was here, I was here. Terrain all over the place. It was all right, to be fair. I think he went first, if I'm honest. I'm rubbish at getting first turn. I just have too many units, and my rolling is terrible. It literally was terrible the last 2 games I've played. So anyway, it went surprisingly well, to be fair. He took some of my units, I took some of his, took out some of his big ones with some fire dragons. And I think we finished on turn 2. And I think from what he said in regards to the game, because I haven't played in a while and I've never played Death Guard, he said that if we'd have carried on, my units would have eventually ground him down. Like I said, my Wraith Blades had dropped in, and they didn't hit the charge, but there had plenty of wounds left. I had the Cytronome in there as well. The Phoenix Gem I hadn't set off yet on my Farseer Skyrunner, so I want to read that. So I think the battle would have turned in my favour towards the end. I don't even think I'd brought my Scorpions in at this point. Fire Dragons have been minced, but they'd done the job which they needed to. All my characters were still alive. So yeah, I think the way it was going. So there was 3 objectives. If you held it, or if you gained it, you got a point. If you held it for consecutive turns, you got 3 command points rather than the 1. And by the end of the second turn, I think he was winning like 12 to 2. So in terms of victory points, he would have absolutely destroyed me because he just sat on the objectives in the centre and in his deployment zone. But like I said, he said as the battle wore on, it could have possibly ground to a tabling, which would have obviously given me the victory. But it was what it was. It was what happened? I think at one point I had charged my Banshees into his Poxwalkers. I had the Banshee Exarch. She was a dynamite. She just couldn't be brought down. She was rolling 3s for saves, and all her saves for forever. Well, for 2 turns. But yeah, she just couldn't bring her down. So that was my unit of the game, my Howling Banshee Exarch. So yeah, that was that. Playing the Death Guard was the Disgusting Resilient was a bit annoying, but yeah, played some of the baser rules in terms of the new rules for Deep Strike. It was really annoying at one point because it was like I'm starting to lose units. I need to bring stuff down, and if I do bring this stuff down, it's in my deployment zone, which means I'm not going to get them anywhere. And you got to remember, even if you bring them down in your deployment zone, you've got to be within 9. You've got to be outside of 9 inches of him, so of your opponent. So if they're in your deployment zone, then you're even further back. So I just waited for the second turn, and like I said, when I brought them down, it would have worked if I got the charge on with those with what they called the Wraith Blades. It would have been a completely different end to that second turn. So on the Friday I went up because I spoke to Dan he was running the shop on the Thursday and said, I'm off all day on Friday. Does anyone want a game? Dan said, yeah, we'll come it down, bring it down. I've played Dan before. He plays Primaris, his own sort of chapter. I hate Primaris. I genuinely hate playing against them. I was sick to death of reroll ones, reroll ones to hit, reroll ones to wound, reroll this, reroll that. It was driving me insane. So I think, what did he have? We played. If this screen is the board, he had the 6 inches here. I had kind of like a rectangle right in the middle. We had an objective in the center, and then it was it could be picked up and moved. And then we had an objective that would come down on turn 3, which we rolled off as to where it was going to go. You'll see some pictures of this, guys. His army consisted of 3 units of 10 intercessors, a unit of 10 hellblasters, a lieutenant, a captain, a bannerman, and some Stormhawk, some plane thingamajig that with a pain in the backside as well. But so something to remember, guys, when you're playing Warhammer. Always remember where the deployment zones are, because for some strange reason, I wanted this first objective to get it and then retreat, so I put all my units near it with the intention of charging. So I was putting down stuff. I was like, right, I need to get them rid of them hellblasters because they're freaking evil things. And I'm just going to check the time. Yeah, cool, got plenty of time, bit of work. So I put my units together with the intention of charging. And I was like, why is he not going for this objective? He's got Primaris. He's going to want to shoot me. He's going to want to get the objective and get rid of it as quick as possible. Yeah, the reason being I completely forgot what the deployment zones were. So from the off, it was, okay, I'm not going to win this. It was, all my units were set to charge. They were out in the open. His units obviously got 30-inch range, and it was just, damn. Rookie mistake. What can you do? Yeah, not the best. But, so he had first turn. Took out a lot of my units quite quickly. My Dire Avengers went, my Banshees sort of went quite quickly. He moved his Stormhawk, which was over here, into the centre to grab the objective. So I sat there. I'd already put my Wraith Blades and Spirit Seer into the webway. My Banshee and the Scorpions were obviously in the shadows, and my Dragons were in the Wave Serpents that was hoping to go and jump on this thing. So yeah, it wasn't the best first turn. Note to self, always remember the deployment zones. So it was a case of just do what you can, handle what you can do at the moment. So I jumped out the Fire Dragons, melted his plane, so he dropped the objective, and then sort of gradually started moving forward. And there was to be fair, by turn, I'm thinking turn 2, it was quite an impressive turn. So he'd sort of moved more central. I'd moved all my bits, so from here upwards, he'd moved sort of inwards. I then decided to drop the Scorpions right in behind. So I think his guys are here, Scorpions here. I then dropped in the Wraith Guard, Wraith Blades even. That's when he used his stratagem to use his freaking Hellblasters, which took out 4 out of my 5. Was not happy. Literally I had no save. So I literally had my dice ready to save. He said it's a minus 4 AP. I was like, damn, I literally lost my cool. I threw my dice on the floor and went for a good minute's walk. It wasn't my finest moment. It was like, damn you, Dan. Yeah. But then I dropped my Wraith Lord over here. So we because the plan was obviously to surround him. My at this point it was like, do you know what? Forget it. We're going for it. So all my units that were over here charged. My characters charged. The Wraith Lord in the corner up there charged. The single Wraith Blade charged. Scorpions didn't make it in, sadly. And you know what? It turned the tide of the battle. Because a lot of my army is quite close combat-y, it looked as if, it was like, hang on a minute, I'm doing all right here. I mean, I think Azuman, at one point, I think he's got 6 wounds, took 1 wound on something like 30 close combat hits from his intercessors and whatever else were there. Bear in mind, they're just butting him with the butt of their guns, but it was quite a showing. So turn 3 comes along. You know, it's in the battle, in the tide. They take out my Phoenix Lord, and it's like, hang on, Dan, he's not dead. Phoenix Gem. I may have forgotten. No, I did forget that the Phoenix Gem also could impact on my own units. So the Phoenix Gem, if for those of you that don't know, is for all units within 3 inches, you roll a dice. On a 2, you take D3 mortal wounds. If you inflict a mortal wound, then you come back. The person carrying the Phoenix Gem comes back with 1 wound. So Farseer dies. Roll 2 for Azuman, who is the closest model. Rolls a 6, so he gets mortal wounds. D3 mortal wounds. Roll a 5, 3 mortal wounds. Dead. The remaining Wraithblade. Roll over a 2. Yep. Oh, that's come on again. D3 mortal wounds. Roll a 5. Dead. And then obviously this carries on for all the units that are close. So I inadvertently pretty much destroyed my own army and any chance of winning. At this point, most people would be gracious and just concede. My result was never. So at this point, I think the only unit I had was the Striking Scorpions. So I had 10. So we charged and we took out, I think we took out his lieutenant or captain, something along those lines. And then obviously resulted in them being destroyed. And then the Exarch that was the only one left fled through morale purposes, which I don't blame him. Yeah, he's recently fallen on his sword. So yeah, it was really, considering it was a loss, and it was from the moment of deployment, it was like, yeah, this is just a waste of time. I was actually going to ask Dan if we could just reset, but I thought that would be bad form, considering it was my fault that I'd fluffed up deployments. But I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I think the swings and turns, and it was like, oh, I could get something here. Because at the end of the day, if I'd managed to get the objective, because at one point my Farseer had the objective, and it was like, do you know what? Forget it. We're charging. Really, what I could have done was bugged him out, and we might have been able to survive that just flying around and whatnot. But nah, gotta go for it. All in, all or nothing. And if we think of the fluff from Eandon and good old Prince Uriel, he's not one to shy away from a fight. Yeah, to be fair, Dan's rolling was amazing. He was getting lots of 6s. And his rerolls of 1 to hit, 1 to wound was so frustrating. It was just cringeworthy. Oh, yeah, hated it. Hated every second of it. There may have to be a rematch in which I try and kill his reroll as soon as possible. And that frickin' Bannerman, the Ancient, whatever it is, that means that if you kill someone, if they're within 6, they can fire off a shot. Every frickin' Hellblaster I took down got to take a shot. It was like, you need 5s to get it as well, I think. And he got all of them. It's like, man, what is going on? But yeah, it was a really good fight. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, like I said, guys, I'll put some pictures up. I don't know why I'm pointing up there, but they will follow this video. So that's my week. Hope you're having a good week, and you've had a good week, and you have a good week this one. There probably won't be a video after this one for a couple of weeks because I'm going on holiday. I'm going to Butlins. Woo! Yeah, so like I said, I hope you have a good week. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Anything, guys. Let me know how badly you've deployed in the past. Have you had those moments where you've just thought, after you've deployed everything, oh no, I have completely done this the wrong way. I am dead. So yeah, let me know, and I will catch you in a few weeks.